magazine readers. Welcome back to Dance Magazine's YouTube channel. My name is Haley Hilton. I'm a writer for Dance Magazine, and this is the Begin Again vlog, where I am chronicling my return to the dance industry after 9 years off with a chronic health condition. Today we are talking about pointe shoes. It turns out that in a decade, your feet change a lot. My feet are not the same as they were before, and the shoes that I was wearing previously just are not cutting it for my foot anymore. I was in Grishko Fouette 2007s. Grishko Fouette's 2007s? I don't know. I had a leftover pair. Like I had gotten new shoes right before I got sick, and so I had my old shoes, like these pristine shoes that hadn't really been used, that I have been wearing, but it's been kind of painful. I tried to do an audition in them recently, like a self-tape, and it was just not working. It's quite painful. You know when something hurts on your feet and you can feel your heartbeat and then throbbing? I was like, I know pointe can be painful, but this seems like a lot. Anyway, so I decided it's time for me to find a new shoe, my perfect shoe. My journey to finding the perfect pointe shoe is starting with fittings. The last time I had gotten fit, in my brain, the last time I really remember sitting down with someone and having them try out pointe shoes on my foot was my first ever pair of pointe shoes. And I had to have been 12 or something. I was young. And then I just stuck with a pointe shoe. Wild. Anyway, no, that's not true. That's not true. Sorry. So the first pair of pointe shoes that I ever got, I did a fitting when I was 12. I remember that fitting so specifically. And then when I was a preteen teenager, I was sort of 14, one of my teachers was a former professional dancer, and she had all these shoes that she wasn't wearing. They were custom fit to her. They're Grishko, and she was like, hey, if anybody wants these, you can have them for free or for super cheap. And I was like, yes, please. I remember putting them on. I remember really liking them, but they had never been fit to me, which might make sense why now, when I try it on, it's just not working. Even though they're a great shoe, it's just not right for my foot. Anyway, so I decided I'm going to do fittings, and I officially have a full-on testimony of doing fittings. I have learned so much about my feet that I didn't know. I should be using toe spacers. I have the beginnings of a bunion that I want to avoid. Even though my foot might seem wide, it is super squishy and really slender. And there's just so many things, whether it can be in person or virtual. A lot of places are offering virtual, just whatever you can do. Have someone talk with you about your foot, because they know a lot. I'm learning. Pointe shoe fitters know so much, and they can make it so helpful. I was in a lot of pain before, but I kind of thought that's just pointe. I was pointe work is just about being tough and gritting through it, because that's dance and I'm tough. And now that I'm 27, I'm I don't really want to hurt that bad if I can avoid it. And I found out with the proper fit, I don't have to feel that heartbeat pain in my foot every time I stop dancing, or even just when I'm standing in my shoes. It was that bad. So I started my first fit with Gatormania. I went to their 16th Street store. Right now it's not open to the public, but they did this so that we could show you what a fitting is like with them in person, but they are offering virtual appointments. I'll share a link to that in my story for you to check out. Just keep watching and you'll see what I thought about their shoes. Hi guys, here I am at Gatormania Boutique. I'm here with Robin Judson and Anna Pearson, and they are gonna help me find the right shoe for my foot, and I'm so excited to show you guys what it's like.
If you could tendu to the side for me with one foot. Beautiful, and tendu to the side with the other foot. Beautiful, your feet are gorgeous.
Yeah, thank you. So nice.
And then I normally ask, what your normal street shoe size is in sneakers.
I'm a 6.5, 7.
So this gives me an idea of where to start.
Okay, yeah.
And we're gonna try a bunch of shoes and get close to find the right length, and then try different fits so we can find what's most comfortable. So I'm gonna grab some shoes to start. So first thing I'm gonna have you do is, can you put one foot on pointe for me? Like that, yeah. So the heels will pop off a little bit. Okay, and then go ahead and step up onto pointe with the other foot as well. I'm just gonna slide that shoe back on your heel. Okay. What I noticed is in this shoe, you look more more over the box. You are pushing through the shoe where you're flat on the platform. This shoe seems to be holding you back slightly.
Yeah, definitely.
It is interesting because this is a wider shoe, but it's a different model. So it just speaks to the importance of kind of checking your fit because different models can affect the fit in different ways. This foot you look really far over, and then I'm looking in the camera, this one looks a little bit held back. So I actually do really like this shoe.
I will say I can feel in this one, and I don't know if it's like maybe my right foot's bigger, but I do feel pressure on my big toe quite a bit already, just like sitting here.
I'm gonna get a different shoe for you to compare.
Okay, great.
I do like this shoe, but I want to have the perfect fit.
I love it.
So go ahead and step up onto point. I'm going to, when we fit gainers, we want a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch pinch in the back.
Yeah, first one.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Both are classics, but this is a wider box where this is a 4 box, and this is our 3+ box, which is kind of like a 3.5.
Okay.
So with the 3+, you're a little bit, you're lifted in the shoe, but I don't think you're sitting in it quite where we want, that you're able to push forward through the box.
Something that's really important to keep in mind with our shoes compared to a traditional paste shoe is that how you feel in the roll through and also the flexibility of the shoe, the pliability of the shoe. How it feels today is essentially how it should feel throughout the lifetime of the shoe.
Okay, first fitting done. I'm carrying my grandma cart. Oh, it's mostly grandmas who carry these things around New York, but this is a big day. I went from an audition at Steps to running down to Gainer Minden, the boutique, and now I'm running to go and see a theater that I'm hoping to hold my little dancers ballet recital in at the end of the year. Anyway, chaos, but I really liked that fitting. I actually feel like I'm not lying, my feet felt really good in those shoes. I'm curious to see how my feet feel in other shoes while I go and see other options, but I think this is a really solid option that I'm excited about trying. So yeah, okay, I have to run, bye. Okay, so as you can tell, I was pretty smitten by Gainers. I really liked them a lot. They definitely, I mean, it was the first shoe I saw, but already they're coming in pretty hot. Like I was like, okay, odds are pretty good for this one. Next up, I went to Block, and Block is right near my apartment on the Upper West Side, which was so fun. Can I just tell you, all of the fitters at each of these stores were so generous and warm and helpful, and it was just a really positive experience. So the next clips are from my fitting with Block, and here's what I learned from them. Okay, this is my fitter, Kara Alburn here at Block. She's been so great to work with.
But you're not really making contact with the shank in the other foot.
On my left foot?
Yeah. So what we look for when we're fitting point shoes is to make sure that your shank is touching your foot. That way we can see where it's going to be breaking in your foot.
That's how you know. Who knew? Okay, so this is not my right shoe.
Exactly, because you're not really making, so if you pull this down just a little bit, you can see that your shank is actually pulling away from your foot.
Yes. Okay, not my right shoe.
I feel like I may be twisting. For sure, yeah. I'm going to try to 5 then.
Okay.
Yeah. That's so much better.
Okay, good.
That's so much better. Yo, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we think that this shoe is the best option here. This shoe is called the Superlative. So the Block Superlative, it's a stretch satin. And I really like that because it feels like nice and flexible on my heel. It's not like digging in, and it's also not like popping off, which drives me nuts. I feel like that happens a lot in my shoes because I have what I've learned is called the disappearing arch. Anyway, it's also, I feel like it's a good fit on my foot. I think it'll really let me use my arch. The only challenge that I find with it is it twists just a little bit on my left foot. And it seems like like a lot of shoes twist on my left foot, but we're thinking that with elastics and ribbons, it could like really support it and keep it held in so that it's not an issue. It's not enough that you're worried about it.
Exactly.
So this is a really, really good shoe option. So as you can see, I had a hard time finding my right fit at Block, unfortunately. So Blocks were actually my first shoe that I wore before I eventually moved on to Grishko's. And I really like Block. I think that there's some really great things about it and they can be a really good shoe for a lot of people, but my foot just kept twisting. Like I just couldn't find the right fit, and it was really nice. The fitter found me an option that was good. It would work, but was it like the best it could be for my foot? We weren't sure. And the fitter was really nice. She's like, you know what? Our shoe is not gonna work for everyone, and that's okay. Like, they're willing to let you know, like, hey, this might not work for you, the shape of your foot, go try a different brand. And I really appreciated that. So I don't think that Blocks are the shoe for me, even though I loved the experience and it was lovely and great. We're gonna keep moving on. So we're still with Gainer at the top. I think we're cutting out Block from my decision-making process. Okay, so next was Capizio. That day was so cold. I was like for sure gonna have a breakdown, but I kept it together. Again, I loved the fitters there. It's a cool spot down in Midtown. I recommend checking it out.
Okay, so yesterday when I finished my point shoe appointment, I had to run to check out a theater in the city to do my dance recital. Ooh, this was not responsible of me to cross the street like this. Ooh. Anyway, but today, and then I had an interview at Starbucks and I ate a hard-boiled egg for dinner. And now today, I went to my point shoe appointment and then I had to do another interview at Starbucks and eat another hard-boiled egg for lunch. Gross. Now I'm headed to Capizio for another video. Here we go.
This is Allison Pia here at the Capizio flagship store. She's been so great helping me find a shoe that'll work for my feet. She's like committed. She's like, we are not gonna give up until we've tried everything. So thank you so much.
Okay, yeah.
So the shoe looks good on you, but I can tell, like you were just telling me, it doesn't always hug your arch all the way.
That right there.
Yeah.
And so it'll get hard even as I'm breaking it in.
It looks okay. Not my favorite. You have such a beautiful foot that your foot is starting to pop out of it.
Yeah, not my favorite either.
Yeah. Okay. So
On to the next one.
next one.
And it would be like dangerous.
Yeah, definitely a little baggy.
And then yeah, a lot of pressure on my big toe.
Okay. Very twisty one.
Wow!
If you can
like fully coming out of
yeah.
Okay, we're liking this shoe.
This one's twisting ever so slightly on your foot.
Yeah.
But it's not so much that I think elastic and ribbon could definitely.
Yeah, it's not so much that you're like, okay, I'm worried about you.
Once again, a lot of the shoes were just not working for my foot. Like shoe after shoe after shoe, she's just like, like this isn't quite right for you. It would twist, or it'd be too small or too big, or just not come up against, the shank wouldn't come against my arch. And so I couldn't use my feet fully until we found the Phoenix, which I really liked how flat the Phoenix was. I thought it was really pretty on my foot, but I wasn't completely sold. I still was leaning towards Gainers in terms of comfort. But the Phoenix was a beautiful shoe. I just didn't know if I had enough support for me. So again, like Capizio's still on the list, but I don't think Capizio's it. So moving on to the next shoe. The next shoe that I went and checked out were Freeds. These are my last shoe that I was gonna try on, the last brand. This is Julie Smith. We're here at Freed, here in Long Island City. I'm so excited that she's agreed to work with me to help me find my perfect shoe.
So tell me about Freeds.
So the beauty of Freed, unlike any other point shoe company, they are 100% handmade shoes. Each maker sort of has his own way of constructing the shoe. The only thing that's the same across the board is the size. So our goal, once we find your size, is to find the perfect maker that's going to work for you. If you can just open to first position for me and do a releve. Yeah, you were not kidding. This flexibility crazy. We definitely want to showcase that. Okay, and come down. Okay, so yeah, your heel disappears a little bit. I'm sure you've been told this.
Yes, disappearing heel.
Your foot is actually super compressible too.
Okay.
So what that means is it essentially gets smaller when it's on point. That's what makes this beautiful line, that arch, but it makes your foot like literally smaller. Do you feel like you're sliding down into the shoe?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my concern here, go ahead and open to first position. My concern here is that it's going to end up too wide for you.
Yeah.
And you'll end up sinking. So with our classic deep vamp, we have that nice U shape to the vamp here, but the pace of the box is relatively soft, so it stops about here. Beautiful, nothing wrong with that. Shoe of choice for every major dance company in Europe and America, like absolutely fine. For a foot like yours, however, I do like to see a little bit more support up the side.
Twist a little bit on my grass.
It is twisting just a hair.
Actually, I think it's twisting in both. Now it's definitely too big.
Yeah, you're sinking right down in. I don't like that you're telling me you're feeling that pressure. That is really on your.
Yeah, I can feel it right there.
I mean, I
think this
love
is
that.
Yeah.
That's actually really making me so pleased.
Yeah, I think I like this
Can you
one.
just be a model for our point two?
Oh my gosh, I wish!
Okay, so it's the moment of truth. I have to decide which shoe I'm gonna go with. And it's hard because I've tried on 7 million shoes and they all feel different and it's just, oh, it's so hard to know. But I've definitely come down to Freed and Gainer. There's a shoe at each of them that I really liked, and I like for different reasons. And there's a lot of pros to both and like a couple cons. I really like that the Freed shoe looks really nice on my foot. I feel like it really accentuates my feet. It's really pretty. You know, it's a classic shoe that so many people love and they love it for a reason, the brand, and it's at a price point that I like. But the problem is it's not perfect. Like I would need, the heel slips off a little bit, and so I want to test it out and see what it's like with the elastics and the ribbons on to see if it can hold it, because if it doesn't, then it's like, okay, well, that's not gonna work. I feel like I really need to like test drive it for real. Like I can't just like, oh, try it out in the store and then like, no, it's my shoe. I think I'm gonna have to like take it into class and work with it, and if it doesn't work, go another direction. And then the Gainers, I feel like already are very comfortable, and they've let me know that the material, you know, it won't change that much. So like the shoe that they've given me is the shoe that I should have, you know, throughout my process of wearing that specific pair of shoes. And so I'm drawn to that. I think that my foot looks really nice in it. I like it. I might like the look of the Freed slightly more, but I think I like the comfort of the Gainer maybe a little bit more. And you know, comfort should definitely be a priority, and it's weighing out the two. And like the Gainer is already what it is, but the Freed with a little bit of work could be even better. I don't even know. Sorry, here comes my dog. Which point shoe should I get? What do you think? Should I do Freeds or Gainers? I think I've come to a decision. I think I'm gonna get both the Freed and the Gainer. In fact, I did buy the Freed today while I was there. I really am a big fan of this shoe. I did the classic CP90. I'm sure I'm saying part of this wrong. Sorry, Freed. My bad. And it's a 3.5 to 4 size. And then the maker that I got this time was Crown, and it's probably the maker that I liked the most there, but I also liked the R and the butterfly. So I bought this because I really like the shoe enough that I want to see how it goes, doctoring it up a bit and take it to class and feel out if this actually is my perfect shoe and one that I want to buy, you know, multiples of to have long term. I am also going to go for the Gainer for now. They didn't have any in stock at their 16th Street location because, like I said, they're doing everything virtually right now, and so I'm going to reach out and have them ship me the shoe that I got there, which is, hold on. Okay, so at Gainer, I just did the classic fit is the model, and the length was a 7, the width was medium, box was a 4, shank was supple, the vamp was deep, and the heel was high. and because I have a disappearing heel. And I'm really curious about both shoes, and I don't feel like I can confidently just like pick one. I'm also curious because what Gainer told me basically is they make their shoes out of a completely different material than other shoemakers, and the idea is that the shank shouldn't break down, and I'm just really curious about that. Like, I'm curious to see if that'll make the shoes last longer, because like I said, I'm doing this on a budget and I don't have a zillion dollars to spend on point shoes each month. So I don't know, I want to see between the shoes, which one lasts longer, which is most comfortable, which do I get the strongest in. And so I think starting out is a fair time for me to get the two and mess around with them before I land on what's exactly perfect for me. Freeds and Gainers are what I went with, and I'm really excited about it. This has been really fun to film and record. Thank you to all of the manufacturers and fitters who worked with me. I really appreciate it, and thank you for making me feel good. And I highly, highly recommend going in and trying out a variety of manufacturers and a variety of shoes with experts who know what they're talking about, so you can find what's comfortable for you. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and come back next month for my next vlogging column. I love sharing my experiences with you all as I return to the industry. It's been so special to me. If you want to dive deeper into this story and get links and things, I recommend going over to Dance Magazine's website to read the full shebang over there. If you are new to Dance Mag's YouTube and to this story of mine, you can go back and see old versions of this vlog where I talk about my experience, what I've been through, and what I'm doing with this, and you can read more articles on the website. Anyway, thanks guys, have a good month, and I'll see you next time. Mwah.